Craziest Soviet machines you won't believe exist. Part 1. Hey everyone, it's your name here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of crazy contraptions, engineering marvels, and some seriously questionable design choices. Have you ever heard of tanks with wings, laser-equipped war machines, or submarines on the brink of causing the next Chernobyl? These aren't just crazy ideas but real Soviet creations that once roamed the land, sea, and sky. From the depths of the Cold War, Soviet engineers seemed to operate with a go big or go home mentality, pushing the boundaries of science and sometimes common sense. So buckle up because we're about to uncover these incredible Soviet machines that seem to have leaped right out of a sci-fi movie. Get ready to be amazed, baffled, and maybe even a little terrified by the sheer audacity of these engineering feats. Let's get started. First up, we've got a behemoth that would make even the most battle-hardened general raise an eyebrow. The 2B1 Oka. Picture this. A monstrous, self-propelled artillery piece stretching over 65 feet long. But here's the kicker. This thing wasn't designed to lob your average explosive shells. Oh no, the 2B1 Oka was built for one purpose, and one purpose only, to launch tactical nuclear weapons. Now you might be thinking, nuclear artillery? That seems a tad excessive, even for the Cold War. And you know what? You're not wrong. The 2B1 Oka was a product of its time, a time when the threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large and both sides were flexing their radioactive muscles. The recoil from firing this beast was so monumentally powerful that it was known to damage the vehicle's chassis. Imagine that. Your weapon is so strong it almost shakes itself apart after every shot. Talk about a design flaw. And if that wasn't bad enough, reloading the Oka was a logistical nightmare. It took a dedicated crew a painstaking 5 minutes to load a single projectile. In the heat of battle, where every second counts, 5 minutes might as well be an eternity. Thankfully, the 2B1 Oka never saw actual combat. It was a Cold War relic, a testament to a time when fear and paranoia fueled some truly outlandish military creations. So, the next time you see a picture of the 2B1 Oka, take a moment to appreciate its sheer absurdity. Next, we're strapping in for a wild ride with the 1K-17 Szhatie, otherwise known as the laser tank. Now I know what you're thinking. Laser tank? Did they pull that straight out of Red Alert? And honestly, you wouldn't be far off. This Soviet creation was like something straight out of a video game, except it was very, very real. Imagine this, it's the Cold War. Tensions are running high and the Soviets decide they need a secret weapon. Something to give them an edge in a potential conflict. And what's more intimidating than a tank? A tank that can shoot lasers, of course. The 1K-17 Szhatie was a technological marvel, a testament to Soviet engineering prowess. It was equipped with not one but 12 ruby lasers, all mounted on a heavily modified T-80 tank chassis. These weren't your run-of-the-mill laser pointers either. We're talking about high-powered beams of concentrated light capable of blinding enemy soldiers and even damaging sensitive optical equipment. But as with many groundbreaking technologies, the 1K-17 Szhatie came with its own set of challenges. Those ruby lasers were notoriously expensive to produce. We're talking about eye-watering sums of money, even for a superpower like the Soviet Union. And if that wasn't bad enough, the 1K-17 Szhatie also ran into some legal hurdles. International law frowned upon the use of blinding laser weapons. So, the 1K-17 Szhatie, despite its technological brilliance, never quite made it past the prototype stage. But even though the laser tank never saw combat, it remains a fascinating example of Cold War innovation. Alright folks, get ready to have your minds blown because we're about to talk about a tank that could fly. You heard me right, a flying tank. The Soviets, in their infinite wisdom, decided that what the world really needed was a way to airdrop a tank directly into the heart of battle. And thus the Antonov A-40 Krylia Tanka, or flying tank, was born. Now I know what you're thinking, a flying tank? That's insane. How on earth did they even get that thing off the ground? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, a really big plane. The Soviets took a perfectly good Antonov TB-3 heavy bomber, strapped a set of massive wings onto a T-60 light tank, and hoped for the best. Unfortunately, the A-40's maiden flight didn't exactly go as planned. The bomber towing the tank struggled to handle the extra weight and drag, and the project was quickly scrapped. The Antonov A-40 might have been a flop, but it's a glorious, hilarious flop. It's a testament to the why-not spirit of Soviet engineering. Chapter 4. The Lun-Class Ekranoplan, the Sea Monster. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of Ekranoplans, those enigmatic hybrid vehicles that blur the line between aircraft and ships. And trust me, there's no Ekranoplan quite as awe-inspiring, as downright intimidating, as the Lun-Class Ekranoplan, affectionately dubbed the Sea Monster. This behemoth was the brainchild of Soviet engineer Rostislav Alexeyev, a visionary who dared to dream of a vessel that could outrun and outmaneuver anything the open ocean could throw at it. The Lun-Class Ekranoplan was his masterpiece, a 240-foot-long, 540-ton testament to human ingenuity, and a healthy dose of Cold War paranoia. The Lun-Class Ekranoplan was designed to exploit ground effect to its fullest, cruising at speeds of up to 340 miles per hour just a few feet above the water's surface. It was armed to the teeth with 6 deadly P-270 Mosquet anti-ship missiles, each capable of sinking a destroyer with a single hit. Despite its untimely demise, the Lun-Class Ekranoplan remains an enduring symbol of Soviet engineering ambition. It's a reminder that sometimes the most outlandish ideas can lead to truly groundbreaking innovations. Chapter 5, ZVM 2901, the screw-propelled swamp vehicle. Alright folks, buckle up because we're about to venture into the wilds of Soviet engineering once again, and this time, we're getting muddy. I'm talking about the ZVM 2901, a vehicle so bizarre, so uniquely suited to its environment, that it could only have come from the minds of engineers who laughed in the face of impassable terrain. Picture this. It's the Cold War, and the Soviet Union, with its vast, untamed wilderness, needs a vehicle that can conquer it all. Mountains? No problem. Forests? Piece of cake. Swamps? Bring 'em on. And so, from the depths of their ingenuity, they created the ZVM 2901, a screw-propelled swamp vehicle that looked like a cross between a tank and a paddle boat. This thing was designed to navigate the most challenging environments imaginable, places where conventional vehicles would quickly find themselves bogged down or hopelessly outmatched. The ZVM 2901, however, scoffed at such limitations. It was equipped with a pair of massive rotating screws that provided propulsion both on land and in water. The ZVM 2901 was a testament to the Soviet philosophy of overcoming adversity through sheer engineering willpower. But alas, the ZVM 2901, like many of its Cold War brethren, was ultimately a victim of changing times. But the ZVM 2901's legacy lives on, a testament to the boundless creativity and resourcefulness of human ingenuity. Chapter 6. The Bartini VA-14, the real-life Millennium Falcon. And now, for our final act, we're taking to the skies with a machine so audacious, so far ahead of its time, that it seemed to have flown straight out of the pages of a science fiction novel. I'm talking about the Bartini VVA-14, a vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, amphibious aircraft that was as ambitious in its design as it was shrouded in mystery. This sleek, futuristic-looking aircraft was the brainchild of Robert Bartini, an Italian-born aeronautical engineer who defected to the Soviet Union in the 1930s and quickly rose through the ranks of its aviation industry. Bartini was a visionary, a man who dared to dream of aircraft that could defy conventional aerodynamic limitations. The VVA-14 was his magnum opus, a supersonic, Ekranoplan-like aircraft designed to take off and land on water, fly at high speeds over long distances, and even operate as a submarine for short periods. The VVA-14's design was nothing short of revolutionary. It featured a distinctive blended wing-body configuration with inflatable pontoons for water landings and a complex system of lift fans and jet engines for vertical takeoff and landing. Despite its untimely demise, the VVA-14 remains an enduring symbol of Soviet aviation innovation, a testament to the boundless possibilities of human imagination. It's a reminder that even the most audacious dreams can take flight, even if only for a brief, shining moment. Outro, what's next? Well, there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the wild and wonderful world of crazy Soviet machines. From nuclear cannons to laser tanks, flying tanks to sea monsters, and screw-propelled swamp vehicles, to aircraft that seem to defy the laws of physics, the Soviet Union certainly left its mark on the history of engineering, even if some of those marks were a bit more eccentric than others. Which of these machines surprised you the most? Would you choose the blinding lasers of the 1K-17 or the awe-inspiring might of the Lun-Class Ekranoplan? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, Subscribe and stay tuned for part 2, because the Soviet Union's engineering secrets are far from over. We've only scratched the surface of the strange and fascinating world of Soviet engineering. There are countless other bizarre and intriguing creations out there, just waiting to be rediscovered and shared with the world. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that sense of wonder alive.